Hi, this is this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, and I want to talk about Napoleon, the new 2023 film that's upcoming. So I'm very excited. I'm going to see Napoleon this week, but I realized I'm excited about it because, well, a few reasons. One, I had no idea. I knew Napoleon was a French guy. I think that's about all I knew about him, right? And then I also knew about the Napoleon complex, which, frankly, that's just an early term for short king, right? Okay, um, I, I, I actually, yeah. Let me stay focused here. So, basically, I want to talk about what lessons we can learn from Napoleon to aid Vivek Ramaswamy in winning the 2024 U.S. presidential race, and also to learn about ourselves as Americans. That's I think that's one of the reasons why we stay engaged with politics, is to learn about ourselves, right? And I will say, I appreciate you being on this journey with me, because sometimes that's a horror movie, right? Like sometimes that's a horror show. Learning about ourselves can be challenging, but I think people like you, people like me, we try not to look away. We try to look at truth, straight in the face, and then form our opinions around the truth that we've encountered, and then express it, right? So, it's really interesting. So basically, I didn't know that much about Napoleon. And the reason why I decided to go see the film was Joaquin Phoenix. I am a huge fan of Joaquin Phoenix. I did not like the Joker film. But his performance as the Joker was undeniably compelling. There's just no way around that. I also, what's really, now that I think about, I was wondering, where do I like almost everything Joaquin Phoenix is in, I see and I dislike, right? So I did not like the movie Her that much, right? But again, I found his performance compelling. But Joaquin Phoenix has an amazing performance that I very much did like, and that was in the movie Gladiator. He was fantastic. I'm vexed. I'm very vexed. I really, really, really liked him in Gladiator. I think the film would not have been successful without him, I don't think it would have worked without him. And he really was fantastic in that. So I'm a big fan of Joaquin Phoenix, even though I generally don't like his products, right? I think you have to respect the talent. He's just got a tremendous amount of talent there. And so I think that's really interesting, and I was interested to see, what he threw there. And I'm very excited to see Napoleon, right? So let's get all the way there. So I want to be prepared for the movie, so I did my research, and I figured out who Napoleon was. And I learned some things which are very specific to Vivek Ramaswamy's run for U.S. president. And let's get into that. Exactly what that is, exactly what that means, right? So basically, who was Napoleon? So first of all, he was a French guy. I was right about that part. He was a French general. And what's interesting is America had a revolution, right? And we were like, hey, no taxation without representation. Plus, we up on these shores, right? We're dealing with, we Americans are dealing with the actual problems that are on the ground here, and there are real, threats. There are real, this is difficult, right? So, King of England, you can go kick rocks, right? And we did. We told the King of England to kick rocks, and then we defeated him, right? So then France got all inspired, and they're like, oh, let's kill our king and queen and all the aristocracy. And that's exactly what happened, right? Now, it failed horribly. And the reason why is that Napoleon was not a strong leader the way Vivek Ramaswamy will be a strong leader. And let me explain what part is missing, right? So why am I such a huge fan of Vivek Ramaswamy, and why am I so ready for him to be the president? Many, many reasons, which I've already expressed here, but what I want to focus on today is person of faith. I very much wish that Vivek Ramaswamy was an evangelical Christian. And I'm praying for that. I'm praying every day that he realizes that salvation is through Jesus Christ. No other path to salvation exists, and that he will choose that. However, I fully acknowledge he is a man of faith. And because of that, he is morally grounded, right? And this is, and of course, the biggest problem we have right now is, President Donald Trump, not even his staunchest supporters would ever pretend that Donald Trump is morally grounded, right? Anybody who looks at him can clearly see he is completely morally bereft, right? Like, so that's not like a debatable subject. President Trump is morally bereft. Like, take a look at what the situation was when his last child was born. I think you'll see what you need to see, all right? Morally bereft, not morally grounded, right? But because he is a man of faith, Vivek Ramaswamy is morally grounded. Now, why is it important to be morally grounded? Well, take a look at the American Revolution and then take a look at the French Revolution, right? So, American Revolution, based on Christian God, right? Like, say, hey, we're a Christian nation. We love God, and we're going to revolt against the king in the name of God. And that's what we did, right? And it went great. Like, we defeated the British, and then we, brought liberty and prosperity to everybody in America, thanks to our blessing, because we were blessed by God, right? Guess what happened with the French, right? They're like, there is no God, and that's why we don't have to be, and that's why we are going to behead the king, right? And they did it, right? They chopped his head clean off, right? And then they lined up a whole bunch of very innocent aristocracies and made a special device to chop their heads off, right? Now get this, right? Did that turn out well for France? Absolutely not, right? In fact, guess what? Napoleon, he reinstated the monarchy and crowned himself, not king, but emperor very quickly after the revolution, right? So, and get this, I did not know this before I researched it to prepare myself for the Napoleon film. Guess what, right? France is not the Great Republic. It is the Fifth Republic of France. They have had 5 separate governments since they revolted, right? So this is the point. You want sound leadership, you want stability, you want bloodless streets, right? You know how you get it? Stick close to God, right? Stick with, and I'll say it right now. You think you want more proof of this? Hey, I say that Donald Trump isn't a Christian, right? He took a very short run at a revolt, right? January 6th, and there was blood, right? Like, that's my point, right? If you go to revolt, you better well have God involved. Like, that's like, because if you don't, it's going to turn out just like France, right? And so that's the point, right? And you can't fake it. I know Donald Trump's trying to fake it. I know a lot of evangelical Christians bending over backwards to pretend that Donald Trump is an evangelical Christian. He ain't. That dude does not know he couldn't even tell you the gospel. He couldn't even tell you the gospel if you'd be willing to pay him $1 million. Frankly, right now, I think he might need. Actually, you know what? I don't want to be one of those people who insults Donald Trump. I don't actually think he has money problems. I don't think any president ever is going to have money problems. Right? Like, I don't think a lot of people report that he has money problems. I don't think that's true. I think he'll be fine. Right? And I don't think he really has money problems now. Right? Like, if you can't make money as next president, come on. Like, yeah. Anyway, so the point is, Vivek Ramaswamy is the strongest candidate because right now, especially since Tim Scott actually dropped out, he's the only real Christian. He is the only real option for Christians. He is not a real Christian. Vivek Ramaswamy is the only real option for Christians. And the reason why is he is genuinely a person of faith. And to us, that's an ally, right? Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.